ready to open up.
Sharon, we seated Josh on the Plan Commission last Wednesday,
Right.
and he did a great job. And he actually, it was the first meeting I can remember where every single person was there.
All right.
And so it was great. And he actually made a contribution right out of the gate. So it was good.
We are live.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We will welcome you to our August 18th, 2025 Commissioners Meeting. This morning, Commissioner Kleinance will lead us in invocation and pledge. If you can rise in this room, please
Before
do
I
so.
pray, I want to remind everyone that the Bears played last night. Did anybody watch them?
Nobody watched.
You guys, they looked awfully good. I'm looking at buying Super Bowl tickets. I'll pray. Our Heavenly Father, we bow our heads today and give thanks for this day and for the opportunity of coming in and participating in local government. We're so very grateful for all the blessings and privileges that we enjoy as citizens of the United States of America. Please be with us today and help us to make good decisions. Please be with our county council and other elected officials, our auditor, as they begin budget hearings and discussions today. Father, we have a lot of people in our county who are suffering from, especially from loss of family members. Please be with them and comfort them. We're so very grateful unto thee, and we love thee and give thanks in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Man, the Bears looked good last night.
They still have a basketball team in Chicago?
Dude.
It's a long season. Our first item on the agenda is approval of last week's minutes.
I'll move to approve our minutes.
Second.
I've got a motion from Larry and a second to approve those minutes. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Next up is the approval of claims.
I'll move to approve claims.
I'll second.
I've got a motion from Tony and a second to approve claims. Any question about claims? All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Next up is the approval of payroll. I'd make a motion, we approve payroll.
I'll second.
Got a motion by myself and a second to approve payroll. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. I went to Chicago Friday. Talk about the Bears.
I'm so glad you have converted, Carl.
No. You gotta love people that love to live in a big city. Cause I don't. I think Maps said we had 70 miles to go and it was gonna take an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And traffic going in and coming out looked beastly, and it was beastly. So anyway.
I thought it was bad just driving in down here this morning.
It's I'd want no part of it on a regular basis. Under our weekly reports, last week we had 28 permits issued, fees collected $5,723, and the estimated value of construction was $2,040,433. That report's available if anyone cares to take a look. I think I need to sign those claims.
Yeah, she'll get you after.
Okay. Our next item is our engineer, Danny Hollander. Good morning, Danny.
Morning, Danny.
The crew last week, we ground some stumps on, 265 north for some trees we took down the week before. We did some, side winding on 400 west, 100 east, 600 east, 675 west. We dirt patched, we worked on the culvert on White Horse. We're mowing back some of the trees that are growing toward the road in German and Wayne Township. Worked on signs, and then Milestone paved 100 East, 265 North, Newbern Road, Huffer Road, and 350 East.
Danny, you know where you are on the new culvert pipe on 400?
It's ready. We just gotta figure, finish up out on White Horse, what we're doing out there, and then probably move over there.
Okay. Will we be able to get that paved then this year or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Then I have an agreement, this is for Bridge 73. This is the one that's currently closed on 900 North, over Flat Rock River. It's a historic structure. It's been classified as historic. And it's 250 feet long or more, thereabouts. So it's going to be quite an endeavor to do. And if we try to get federal funds, I've got this contract with USI as the first step in that process to.
Danny, I take a lot of abuse in the office for my longevity. But, we've worked a lot on Lowell Bridge, Tanny Hill Bridge, the last several years. A lot of and I remember when those bridges were built, both of those bridges. I do not, however, remember when this bridge was built.
Because it was built in 1911.
Yeah.
And
Right
we
before
all
your
laughed
first term,
this
I think.
morning. It was actually built before the Titanic,
Oh, yeah.
or at least probably maybe the
Yeah.
Titanic was being worked on, but
So that bridge.
think about that.
Has lasted a long time. Now, we did renovate it in 94, I think,
Yeah.
94,
90s.
95. And it's lasted 30 years.
But it's a special issue because it's a historical bridge. So we can't just tear it down and start over.
No,
It's a challenge
right.
because we have to either fix it and keep using it, or
And
we
not
have
just,
to,
not just fix it, you have to be able to fix it without hurting its historical.
structure.
Value.
Yeah, historic impacts.
And, or the other choice is to find another use for it. Some bridges have been used in walking trails and things like that. But, special situation here, so we have to go over and above on this one, and it presents extra challenges and
Yes,
extra expenses.
yes.
And we've looked at different options and we feel like at this point, probably the best choice is to fix it in place, isn't it?
Yes, probably, with the traffic volumes, it's probably okay to fix it, so, but even that, you have to, in order to be eligible for the funds, you have to have looked at all the alternatives and have, be able to justify your plan.
Right, yeah,
You know,
and
just like
so
say, oh, that's what we want to do, and they just don't.
ballpark, now this study will give us better ideas of costs and ideas and things like that, but
Right.
some ballparks we've tossed around, $6 million is not out of the realm of reason here.
No, not at all.
And we don't have that kind of money laying around anymore now that, the federal government's not throwing money at us anymore.
Well, and we've got a lot of big bridges and big bridge projects going on.
Yes, we do.
Well, this is a very low volume, but the people that use it
would like to have
my
it.
phone number,
Yeah.
and they would like a new bridge.
I think,
The
what we say about,
Chrismans, the Winances, the Shows, there's a show farmer that has my phone number. But, you know, I tell them that we're not gonna be able to build a $7 million bridge.
about 100, and I think we said about 150 cars go across it every day. Now, that might be,
And the
75
farmers have
cars going
learned
twice.
with equipment to use other
Yeah.
routes to get to their land, but then when they're checking crops or whatever, smaller, they can cross the bridge. But right now, they can't do either.
Right.
but
So-
the very, I think probably what's going to frustrate the most people is that we have to go after federal matching funds to fix this bridge. And that's not a quick process.
No, not at all.
We have to do this study, just to get in line for the federal dollar.
Yeah, we're doing some of the preliminary hoops we're gonna have to jump through, but there'll be more.
But we're looking at potentially years, 3 or 4 years.
Well, Tandy Hill's scheduled for 2030 and we were awarded that a couple of years ago, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're looking at.
It's
Well,
gonna be
and
a-
during this discussion, the discussion of closing a bridge comes up. Now, I can remember the county closing 2 bridges. I think that I can recall. And both were up in German Township. One was the old, the something Ford Bridge on 950 North up against Camp Atterbury. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That
That
was-
was in your time?
Well, it was before me. No, it was before me, but I remember when the county closed it. And then we closed a bridge in Hog Bottoms area. Just because it just didn't, there were no residences beyond it and it just didn't justify replacing it with a new bridge. But anyway, it's closing a bridge is a difficult thing to do
Yes, it is.
because it always affects someone.
But we can't just close this bridge and ignore it because one of the
Yeah, we
laws,
don't-
historical bridges stipulate that you can't ignore it. You
Yeah,
can't just
no.
let it,
Right, and so I'm not
Demolition by
saying.
neglect.
demolition by neglect is the phrase, yeah.
Brad, I'm certainly not saying we should close it, but that has been one of the items that we've discussed, you know,
Yeah.
do you just close a bridge like this? And the answer is no. We can't close it. And we could, the county could, but,
Well, we have to fix it. We can't just
well,
let
even
it
if you
go.
close it, you've got to maintain it. It
Yeah,
doesn't make sense,
yeah.
but that's our government at times.
Demolition by,
Neglect.
And
Neglect.
even 30 years ago, when we fixed that bridge, we renovated it. I mean, we had the same discussion. Everything was just cheaper, but it was still real dollars and painful. I think we spent 250,000 to renovate that bridge, maybe 300 at the most. Charlie, you were here,
We actually got federal funds to do that.
Yeah.
And the Tiki Bridge as well.
right, at the
But they were
same
different
time.
types of requirements back then.
Yeah, but we had the same issue. If we didn't renovate it, we had to move it offsite and still renovate it, put it back in use in some location. We did that with the old Newbern Bridge. It's now in in one of the city parks there on,
Lincoln.
yeah, off of Haw Creek there. I think it's Haw Creek.
well, bottom line, it's not gonna be a quick fix.
Yeah, and even moving it's difficult. Moving them is difficult. It's expensive to move a bridge.
Yeah, because on Newbern, we had federal funds to replace it and federal funds
To relocate it, yeah.
relocate it and rehab it, so.
So it's
It's all on
difficult.
us now.
Yeah, there's not that, there used to be different pots of money
Okay.
that were federal that for specific purposes, and that's not the case anymore.
But we can't do anything until we do this study.
Right.
I'd make a motion that we approve this agreement with USI Consultants, the Bartholomew County Bridge number 73.
I'll
The amount,
second.
$148,200.
Second.
I got a motion from Tony and a second to approve this agreement with USI Consultants. This is again for Bridge 73. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. There you go, Danny. Anything else?
That's all I have.
I will note that I visited with the contractor down at the Azalea Bridge on Friday. They're getting along well. The head superintendent down there said it's a pretty good old bridge yet. And then he actually brought up the, what do you call it? The mystique that goes along with that bridge. And I guess you can actually Google it on your phone. A lady in the 30s threw her baby off the bridge, out of the covered bridge.
Good Lord.
And, anyway, she comes back to the bridge occasionally. Her and the baby do come back and visit.
Hear them screaming and.
Yeah.
they're nice. There's a
What
lot,
year
a
was
lot
that?
of bridges have that
What
story.
year was that bridge built? Do you know, Carl? Did you,
The Azalea Bridge was built in the
60s?
mid-50s, I think.
Is it that old? Okay.
I think he told. So, and thank you, Danny.
And the contractors on White Horse started today. They
Oh,
moved
good.
in some really heavy equipment Friday.
Are you gonna check on that once or periodically through the work?
Oh,
I would love to see how they do that. Drive those pins at a 45.
Yeah, they brought in some huge excavator Friday. I haven't seen that yet, but, they had to, you know, took about half a day to get there, finding a route that they could take and
Okay,
drive it down the road for a ways.
thank you, Danny. Our next item on our agenda, we have some proposals here from the Sheriff's Department. We got Chad Swank with us this morning. Good morning, Chad.
Morning, Chad. You know that guy behind you there?
Run into him once or twice.
Run into him once in a while.
Here to watch.
Sorry, Sheriff. Didn't say hi to you when I came in.
What are we doing here? First item, gonna do some AEDs, right?
Okay, I can do that
Yeah.
first, yeah. I've got three here, so, yeah, we have a proposal to purchase, 7 AEDs. We are, needing to outfit some of our pool vehicles. Want to make sure that they're completely outfitted when officers have to switch into those. They don't have to move the entire contents of the vehicle. So this would accomplish that. Like to go with obviously the low bid on this would be Northern Kentucky EMS, quoted at 1,600 each for the AEDs.
Okay, and Chad's gotten a couple other quotes here online. One was 14,629.93 from AED.com. Another one here from AEDUSA.com for 14,574. And then this quote here from Northern Kentucky EMS is for $13,160. Again, that's for 7. I'd make a motion, we go ahead and approve that quote from Northern Kentucky EMS.
Second.
I got a motion from myself and a second to approve that quote from Northern Kentucky. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Next item, Chad, on our agenda is we're trading in some guns, right?
We are, we recently, upgraded or renewed our guns. The old ones have been in use for several years, so switch those out. These are to trade in those old guns to Acme Sports. You should have a list of 39 of those that will be traded in. The trade-in value of 250 each. So that's a total trade-in of 9,750. And that credit is going to be applied to the invoice that we, for the purchase of the new guns yet. So that'll offset that cost that we need to pay.
I'll make a motion to approve that transaction, trading in guns, $9,750.
I'll second.
I've got a motion from Larry in a second to approve this trade-in of 39 firearms to Acme Sports Incorporated in Seymour. And I see the list here. Every one of them has a specific serial number. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried.
You know, it's interesting, when I first saw this come across, I thought, why would we need to approve in our meeting the trade-in? And then our attorney said, well, we're basically selling them our guns. Okay, that makes sense to me, so.
You gotta track a gun.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. Next item. Jab or what? Getting some body armor?
Yeah, so our SWAT team, their body armor, most of it is up for renewal. That's a 5-year warranty period that we have to replace every 5 years. And we have a couple of new members of the team that need outfitted. So the quote we'd like to go with is quote number 1 from Star Uniform. That is the same equipment that we've been using. Our SWAT team leader's happy with that. He's got a couple other quotes. But we'd like to stick with the stuff that they've been using for consistency and quality. You see that totals 25,000. I think it's 968.
Chad, I see we have another quote on here from a place called Galls.
Right.
For 27,186.50, $1,500 more. Are we talking apples to apples here? Are we talking about the same type of equipment there?
Yes, that's actually the same manufacturer. Those are the exact same items. Yes.
Okay. In that case, I would make a motion that we approve this quote from Star Uniform for equipment, uniforms and accessories for our SWAT division.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Tony and a second to approve this quote for SWAT uniforms and accessories for our sheriff's department. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried.
Right.
Thank you, Chad.
That's all.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Our next item on our agenda this morning, and it's, I think, our final advertised item, is our second reading on an ordinance amending Title 7. It's the traffic code, the Bartholomew County Code of Ordinances. And this is second reading that considers the legalization of driving UTVs on our county roads. So Larry, you want to speak to this?
Not really, but I will. We've discussed this for several months now. We had first reading
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Had a few really good points come up that we have discussed and talked with the sheriff about. We got clarification. A lot of these issues revert back to state law. And I think we don't want to be redundant on state law. Couple of those things that helped me with memory here was there was a question about age of which someone could drive. We thought it might be 18, but state law states that if you have a legal driver's license in the state of Indiana, you can operate a UTV if the local county. And then we also found out about helmets. Tony, do you recall what that was?
That's right. Helmets are required if you were under 18 on a UTV.
Yep.
And that
So-
will be the manufacturer's recommendation as well as state law.
So if you're in your 60s, you don't have to wear a helmet. But if you're 18 or younger and have a driver's license.
Below 18. I think if you're 18, you don't have to.
Okay. Is that how it reads, Sheriff?
Yes.
Under 18. Okay. So if you're 18 and over, you don't have to wear a helmet. Younger than 18,
Anyone under the age of 18.
with a driver's license, you must wear a helmet.
Yes.
Except if it's an infant in a locked-in
Okay.
car seat.
And I think those were some of the good points that were brought up on first
Another
reading.
question was about some of these UTVs are outfitted with lights.
Right.
Some of them have red lights and blue lights and whatever. And state law stipulates that you cannot be going down the road with red lights and blue lights, looking like a police car. So
Right.
if you're on the roads, those need to be turned off.
Okay. Carl or Tony, do you recall anything else that,
We didn't have, I had very little input since first reading. We've had several people thank us. We've had a few people that are still very concerned about safety.
Yeah,
We received a letter from Mr. and Mrs. Weekman that they were very concerned about major roads such as Southern Crossing. And I think we're right to be concerned, Mr. Weekman. We've taken that into consideration. The vehicles that are going to be on these roads are supposed to be able to stay up with traffic. And the sheriff and his department will be out and about giving citations to people that aren't following rules. What
Tony,
people
that-
need to also understand, this does not allow you to let your 10-year-old child drive that UTV. All right?
Or even a
Or a
golf
golf
cart
cart.
in a subdivision.
If you're in a subdivision in a golf cart, you have to have a driver's license. If you let your 10-year-old child drive your golf cart in the neighborhood, you're gonna get a ticket. The kid's not gonna get a ticket, you're gonna get a ticket.
And we have not, as a group, discussed this very much. I even said that this morning. We've been so busy with things, we haven't discussed it much outside of this room. But one of the good suggestions that came in a letter, and we had talked about this 6 months ago, was we have 3 or 4 highways in this county, or county roads. I think of a highway as a state highway or an interstate. County roads that we have 2 that used to be state highways, and possibly we will have a third one in the next several years, could be State Road 11, that could turn into a county road. We had discussed, and the letter talked about how dangerous it is on 25th Street. We all think of 25th Street as 46.
But out by Bush's Market, it's a county road.
Yeah. And so we had and 450 North is a very busy county road, 550 North, 800 South is another very busy road. Sheriff, do you have any concerns about those roads?
Well,
The
yeah.
answer is always yes.
Exactly. It's just that what is the criteria to classify a road to say that one's not, drivable?
Right.
And that's the question. What is that threshold?
Some counties, Sheriff, have specifically put specific roads in their ordinance that you cannot ride on.
I believe so.
Brown County's done that a little bit. I believe Johnson County's done that. And we, at this time, chose not to do that. But we always have the opportunity to amend. And if we see people are not making good decisions and not, taking safety as a major concern, we may go down that road.
25th Street, I would think, is the biggest concern, potential, rub there.
Well, you got a couple
Such a
places.
busy road.
A couple places that have a lot of accidents anyway. You got Mar Road along 550. You got 25th Street out around 500. You got 100 where it intersects with 500 out on the east side. These places have a lot of regular car accidents. People are going to have to be safe. People are going to have to make good decisions. This ordinance is for people who have these vehicles that don't want to break the law. There's a lot of people that have these vehicles that they ride them on their property, but they want to be able to ride them down the road. And they are the ones that are asking to be able to use these things responsibly. There's nothing in this ordinance that says,
Farm,
I'm sorry?
like we have a farm, we'd like to ride it
Right.
to the farm and back.
There's nothing in this ordinance that allows people to be ridiculous and make bad decisions. This does not endorse driving these things and having a couple beers. You're gonna go to jail. This ordinance is for people who want to be able to enjoy these things responsibly. And we hope they do that. And we hope people don't give this whole thing a black eye. There's a lot of concern. We don't go into this thinking that everything's gonna be hunky-dory all the time. But if you follow the law and make good decisions, then you'll be able to enjoy these things properly.
With that said, it is an ordinance. That requires us to have a public hearing. And I will at this time open the floor for any public comment. If you do come to the bench, want to make a public comment, we need your name and your address and your phone number.
You don't need the phone number.
Don't need a phone number, okay. And limit you to 3 minutes to talk on the subject. So the floor is open if we have got any discussion.
I was gonna say, Hubert, you better have something to say.
You guys see me in Hubert Baker, you want my address? too?
Yes, please.
12485 South Hillview Drive. You mentioned 25th Street. I thought we was talking about unincorporated areas.
It is
Well, see,
unincorporated
I
out.
know, but 25th Street is a city street. We're not, I want
To
to
the
get that.
city limits,
Yeah, but it goes clear out to
only to the city
almost
limits, Hubert.
Hartsville.
Well, don't that turn into 46 then?
It, on the other
At the
side,
intersection, yeah.
on, at 9, but between 9 and around where the city limit ends, that's County Road, Hubert.
On 46?
That's not 46.
It's not 46 anymore.
46 goes out by Rock
Hasn't
Creek
been
School.
for 20 years, or
Okay.
30 years.
Did that stretch Petersville then you're saying?
Petersville is County Road.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
County
realize
Road.
that. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's why I'm confused there because we was talking unincorporated all the time, you know?
That is part of unincorporated.
Okay.
I think it goes to just Tally, right? It's just on the other side of Tally
Somewhere
Road. is city
between
limits.
Tally and Bonnell Road is
Okay.
the city limit.
Little dead end road there by the cemetery where we start.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's why I made confused. We're talking
Yeah.
about 25th Street though. That's city. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking.
Oh, no.
So
And-
Sheriff, won't you be watching him out there?
No, I don't go that side of town anyway.
Let's set up a speed trap and catch him out there on
And
25th
what
Street.
Commissioner Kleinhans mentioned about 11, we've been talking to the state for the last couple of years about them vacating 11 from the overpass to Southern Crossing.
We don't want it, but they're trying to give it up.
So that's gonna be quite possibly from 200 South to Southern Crossing County Road instead of Highway 11.
Okay, I know we brought it up, I mentioned, it, I read this, that like 46, and I'm gonna say 58 out there where I'm more familiar with. If I leave 300 west, I'm gonna say, I can ride adjacent to 58 if it's got that wide area. And that's the way I read it in the rules.
This does not,
That's not
this does not account for that, Hubert.
Okay.
So don't push it. But the,
You can cross it
state-
at a right angle,
the state
correct?
law allows you
right
to
angle,
cross, highways 90 degrees.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that if I were you
I mean,
driving
well, I
down.
read that, you were allowed adjacent wide area. but-
We've not seen that and the sheriff disagrees with that
Okay,
assessment.
well, I was reading that in one of the law things.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
This is a pretty good,
I just want to clarify this 25th Street thing. That, I mean, confuser. What are you talking about? I thought-
oh, yeah, yeah.
I didn't realize.
Confuses a lot of people.
Okay. That's all. I was
Thank
saying.
you.
Thank you, Hubert.
All right.
Anyone else? Seeing no comment, I'm gonna close the public comment, public session on discussing this, and commissioners, I think we're ready for a motion.
Before we do that, I just want to make it clear that if it passes today, it does not go into effect today. It will have, because there are fines, are we calling them fines or fees?
Fine.
Okay, well, legally, I think they're called fees. If you get pulled over in one of these things and you get a citation, first one's $100, second one's $200, third one's $300. And that'll restart at a calendar year from when you got your first one. But because of that, it has to be advertised in two 7-day cycles. So it would be, if it's adopted today, publication is required by law. The ordinance will be advertised Wednesday, August 20th and Wednesday, August 27th. And then it will go into effect Thursday, August 28th. So if it passes today on second reading, it will go into effect Thursday, August 28th.
Carl, and you have been in this boat with me, so I don't want to drag you through the mud, but I just did. For decades, I have this has come before us at least twice previously, and we never got to this detail. And I've always been against, back then, we've always called them ATVs. Against ATVs being used on county roads. And I think the commissioners in the past, and my specific position has been from a safety perspective. I have a very good friend who lost a family member. And I know many people who have been in terrible accidents and whatnot. But I've listened to so many people the last 10 years. And do listen and take it in. So I will support this even against maybe my better judgment. If it was just for me and my family, I would say no.
Well, Larry, I gotta tell you something. We are still against ATVs on our roads.
And I know that. So I was gonna go on but the ATV industry has changed so much in the last 20 years. And now what we call a UTV is almost like a small truck and is a lot different than the old ATVs that we used to ride with handlebars and.
Right.
Um,
Those are, and people need to be clear, those are still not legal.
right.
Four-wheelers are not legal according to this
So
ordinance.
when someone, and I've had people say, Larry, how come you've changed your mind? And I guess, well, I've listened to people, but the industry has changed also. There's a lot more safety built into these, but there is risk. So I'll support it today, but I still have my concerns, but the industry has changed, and I think we've written it in such a way that we keep golf carts and ATVs off the roads, but we allow UTVs. As the ordinance is written, I think it's about as good as we can get.
With that in mind, I'd make a motion that we approve on second reading, this ordinance amending Title VII, our traffic code to allow certain UTVs on our county roads in unincorporated Bartholomew County and golf carts inside internal subdivisions.
I will second, Carl.
I got a motion from Tony and a second to adopt this ordinance on second reading. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. And again, as Tony said, will be advertised Wednesday, the 20th, Wednesday, the 27th, and becomes effective Thursday, August 28th.
Carl, with that, can we have the sheriff give us a lecture? Because I know you're wanting to. Kind of tell us how it's gonna be, because Hubert's chomping at the bit over there. He's gonna go get him a Polar Pop.
I would suggest that everybody read this ordinance and read it in detail. We are gonna enforce it. The commissioners have approved this. This has been a topic for as far back as we can remember. Obviously, the ordinance, there's a lot of great thought that I think went into this, and considering a lot of the, just everything that goes into these, but it spells out what you can do and what you can't do. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, I have zero sympathy if you get a ticket. It's just that simple. Because obviously we've went this direction, and we're getting things set up in our computer system where all we gotta do is scan the driver's license. It'll print it out right in the patrol car. So don't be surprised. I realize there'll be growing pains. But if you go out here and drive around on the roads, we see some people not using very good judgment every day. And unfortunately that happens, and we're there to, obviously a lot of times we're not there when you need one of us, right? But if we catch somebody, the biggest concern I have, and one of the things that we will, absolutely, there's no gray area. If you're underage, you don't have a driver's license, don't be allowing your 12-year-old to ride the golf carts or the UTV on the road. It is a pretty simple concept here. You gotta have a valid license. And don't be riding on the state highways.
And lastly, what tolerance for alcohol is it zero? Or is it 0.0?
If you're operating one of these vehicles and you're intoxicated, we got a place for you. It's the Bartholomew County Jail.
Noticed this morning, I think on the news, that a lady down in Dearborn Switzerland County was, going up Interstate 74.
Oh, the wrong way. I
The
didn't-
wrong way, and she was intoxicated. And, that
wasn't
doesn't
on an
work,
ATV,
that
was
doesn't
she?
work well on, interstate highways either, does it, Sheriff?
We had one of them incidents on 31 this weekend, going the wrong way on 31.
So anyway,
Crash, subject intoxicated, and then while the deputies were directing traffic on that one, they almost got hit by another intoxicated driver.
Oh, my.
So people need to.
You do a dangerous job and we're grateful for you and all your people too.
People need to use good judgment. I don't care what they're driving, whether it's a motorcycle, a car, or a golf cart or a UTV. It all goes down to using good judgment. And if you use poor judgment, accidents are gonna happen. And that's, that's unfortunate.
You know, one of the biggest questions I received and people were really surprised is why we're not charging for and providing our own sticker for the use of these on our roads. And, you know, we talked a lot about this. I think we're the only county or city that doesn't charge for registering your vehicle to be used on the roads. And we talked a lot about this. And the reason was people are taxed to death.
Exactly.
They're taxed to death. And even though the people don't mind the idea of spending $40 or $50 a year on a sticker, because everybody seemed willing, and they seemed surprised that we're not. And quite frankly, the amount of revenue it would raise is negligible compared to the amount of cost with checking all these vehicles. We're assuming the people that are riding and using these vehicles on our roads, on their roads, know what the ordinance states, and they know how their vehicle's supposed to be set up. When they're gonna get checked is when they get pulled over.
Exactly.
And if their vehicle's not up to par and doesn't meet the specs, then they're gonna have a problem. So to everybody that was asking questions about why we aren't doing a sticker, that's why.
Well, you do have to register a UTV with the state.
We're not doing a local one.
But we're not doing a local. And we obviously had that discussion. We all agreed. I personally don't think it costs a lot to maintain our county roads. It does.
We're gonna talk more about that
Yeah, look what your
this
discussion was
afternoon in
about
the council
bridges,
meeting.
bridges today. And those are all paid for with taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Taxpayers that have paid for those roads. Why should they be taxed another direction to be able to ride
It
roads?
would be a negligible amount of money raised and
Exactly.
the expense associated with it would be too high. Thanks for your work on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Sheriff,
Thank
you have been helpful with this. You really have. It's been good to be able to communicate with you. And from your experience,
I think it was a big step. It was obviously something that had to be, we're one of few counties that haven't done this, but I do think that, like I said, I'm not gonna say that there's not gonna be an issue here and there, and we'll address those issues. And
And they're already
if,
happening, aren't they?
If there's issues and it gets overwhelming, I'll be the first person to come over here and talk to all three of you
about
and
some
say,
tweaks.
we need to make some tweaks and we need to make some changes, because
Yeah.
obviously people aren't doing what they need to be doing.
You know,
So-
Tony, you had mentioned we will be one of the very few counties, maybe the only county that doesn't charge a permit
That's
or a
right.
registration fee.
Mhm.
We're one of the few counties that don't have a wheel tax.
Oh, don't get me
It's going to
started
be
on that.
discussed this afternoon in the
You said the
council
W
chambers.
word in public.
Yeah, but we've never had a wheel tax, and we've always felt that we could maintain our roads without a wheel tax, and I think we've done a great job of it. If you don't believe me, go to a few of the adjacent counties with wheel taxes and make a comparison. But the state's messing with that now. That's gonna be painful, but the county council will decide what to do.
The one thing that, for those that have got these, that make sure we've required turn signals. Some places don't. So if you don't have turn signals on your UTV or your golf cart, you need to be going and looking online and finding.
Well, that's a good point, Sheriff, and our suggestion, I'm sure you agree. Everybody that has one of these vehicles or is gonna get one of these vehicles, golf cart or UTV, needs to get a copy of this ordinance and read it and understand it.
Right.
Because you're not gonna get a free pass.
This goes, what, the 28th?
Yeah.
It goes live on the 28th.
As far as I'm concerned, it's live on the, citations are going live on the 28th too, if there's violations.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be, hey, this went into effect, you got 2 weeks to get your
Anybody
stuff
can go
together.
to the Bartholomew County website,
Now,
Bartholomew.
if they're county residents, Sheriff, give them a break. If they're from Brown County, you ticket them.
Too much work has went into this, 28th that goes
Johnson
into
County,
effect.
ticket them.
Bartholomew.in.gov, is that our website?
Chad, come on, give them a break if they're your friends in the county. But if
I'm,
they're from Brown County, double ticket.
That's where it starts.
you can download this ordinance at our website and read it, know it, learn it.
Like the fact
Yeah,
you're-
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Sheriff, thank you.
Well, again, we appreciate your help and input with this.
One more comment.
And, anyway, any other comments today before we adjourn?
One more.
Yeah, Hubert?
The charge you're talking about, the city, $25, $30, Greensburg, I think charges $30. Now that allows you to ride through the street, like to go to a restaurant somewhere, and also Scottsburg, Scott County. I think it's $25, but you go and have the, police officer check your vehicle out, must pays all safety things, registration, all that, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
anyway, and Salem, Washington County do the same thing. You can ride them around the square in Salem, as long as you got that little sticker that the city allowed you to go around town with. That shows that you're licensed and your vehicle safety and all that. Now,
Well,
that's what they charge that for. It's
Yeah.
not,
I think we heard Johnson County charges $100.
yeah, well, the $30, I think it is register your vehicle in the state for 3 years. That's what mine cost me.
That's the DNR.
Yeah, yeah,
sticker.
right. But yeah, the
Okay.
registration for the city, that's if you allow, okay, I want to drive across town, I can if you allow me. Got a vehicle.
And Hubert, we do know that the city will be addressing this very same topic
We're hearing rumbles.
probably in the next couple of months. So
We're hearing rumbles.
Well, that
that's
way
something
would
they
have
can
revenue
do.
There, they want to raise money.
Yeah,
on
and they
it.
probably will.
I just want to bring out, that's what that was for.
Anything else today before we adjourn?
I have one quick,
Go.
are we under miscellaneous now?
Yep.
Okay, just want to let everybody know that we have some honored guests from Japan in town this week. They got in town last night. The commissioners were honored this morning to go to City Hall and meet Mayor Oyama of Miyoshi, who I had met last fall, and members of his city government. As y'all know, Miyoshi is our sister city in Japan. Along with them, several students from Miyoshi are coming to town, and they'll be here for a few days, staying with local families. And then I believe everybody leaves on Thursday to go back. So if you see some folks out and about, say hello and welcome them.
With that, we are adjourned. We'll be back here next Monday morning.